Highlights of the 2023 Minto Cup are brought to you by Pete the Plumber in Calgary. Call 403-257-1766 or visit their website at petetheplumber.com.
Started with 4, now we're down to 2. It's game 1 of the Minto Cup final. Thompson now goes for a run. Hammered by Milledge. Samar Thompson on the roll. Down the highway, scores! Here's Phillips Marshine saving. Rebound, scores! Wow. Now he'll move up to the righty shooter spot. Saris! End it! Send the kids to bed! Braden Saris! Burlington takes game 1!
It is game number 2 for Junior A lacrosse supremacy. And will the Minto Cup, right there, be presented for the first time ever to Burlington? Or can the 3-time champions from Coquitlam, British Columbia, stay alive? My name is Peter Loubardias, and welcome once again to the Pete the Plumber pregame show, the 2023 Minto Cup edition. And you know, where Pete the Plumber is concerned, no one, and I mean no one, does it better. I'm not sure you could have a better opening game of a best-of-3 final than the one we witnessed here last night. 60 minutes not enough? 70 minutes not enough. They didn't quite get to 71. It required double overtime and well worth another look. It absolutely featured everything. Ben Coghill got Coquitlam on the board with his second of the tournament and made it 1-0 before Ben Trumbull, his first of the tournament. He came over in a big acquisition earlier this season to make it 1-1, and Cody Molosky, who's truly been one of the stars of the event, scored his first. They built a 4-1 lead, but this, for me, a turning point goal, shorthanded late in the first by Ty English. And coming out of the room, how about a little more English? Ty cut the gap to 4-3. Jack Kask robs Braden Saris. Molosky takes a wallop as he drives the front of the net, but not a hit like the one that Zach Thompson took in the middle of the floor. Devastating. Before Ryan Favaro gave Coquitlam a 6-4 advantage. And then we'd go back and forth in the third. Zachary Thompson scores. And it was 6-6. But Q Cody, not Jansen, Molosky, his second of the night. 7-6. More Molosky. Pass Deacon Knott. But where there is a will, there can be a way. As in Will McLeod, he tied it at 8 with that rocket from the high slot, and the game required overtime. It's a straight 10-minute overtime period, and Zach Thompson's second paved the way for a 9-8 lead. But after a number of dynamite stops by Deacon Knott, Charney said, "Thank you kindly," and sent it to double overtime. And on a power play, Braden Saris tells Coquitlam, "Good night. We are within one of our first ever Minto Cup title." It was sensational with a capital S. Molosky with 3, leading scorer in the tournament. Stewart, Phillips, Thompson, Saris. The 2 goalies were terrific. And the gentleman who has done such a terrific job calling this entire tournament is Cody Jansen. And Cody, I know you're a young guy. You'll have lots of great games to call before your career's over. Where did last night's rank?
Oh, that's up to that's a top 5 for sure. Like game 1 Minto Cup final, right in our own backyard in Edmonton. That was up there. You get the overtime. I've always been a proponent of I do not like the non-sudden death overtime, so that first 10 minutes just makes me want to puke. But then we get to the sudden death, the second part of it, and you get Saris with the clutch goal. That was so much fun, and I just hope we get another one tonight.
What stuck out for you? What in your mind allowed Burlington, who's been such a resilient team, not only here, but, to knock off Orangeville, an unbeaten team all the way into the Ontario League final. They found themselves down 4-1, but they're not interested in going away, Dan McRae's men, are they?
It's the guy between the pipes, right? It's Deacon Knott. Because if he doesn't make those clutch saves, I think of the second period where Coquitlam did start to put it on in the transition game. They were starting to push the pace again like they did in period number 1, but Deacon Knott was making the saves. And that's the difference maker. Because if your goaltender gives you a puncher's chance, you've got to take advantage of it. That's what Will McLeod did. That's what Zach Thompson did. And that was what was so impressive about Burlington is they could have folded. They could have gone down by 4 or 5 and said, hey, tonight's not our night. Let's try again on Saturday. But no, when you've got the belief that the guy between the pipes can give you a chance to win on any given night, that's why in the third period they were able to elevate their game, largely in part to Dan McRae and company.
Just like you. Tonight, another little elevation. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you after the game. If it's anything like last night, you're in for another treat. We thank Cody Jansen. This pregame show, Pete the Plumber, also with help from Adrenaline Source for Sports. When it comes to your premier store for hockey, lacrosse, and team apparel in Calgary, you know where to go. Adrenaline Source for Sports. I'd suggest there's a little adrenaline in this building. We'll be back to further preview Game 2. You're watching the Minto Cup Final. What a beautiful shot that is. Edmonton, the site. Back after this.
Highlights of the 2023 Minto Cup are brought to you by Pete the Plumber in Calgary. Call 403-257-1766 or visit their website at petetheplumber.com.
The teams are getting set for game number 2 of this best of 3. You see the warm-up for many players has already come to an end, and at the top of the clock, we'll take you to Cody Jansen and Cooper and Alina for game number 2. Well, if you are Coquitlam, the champions of British Columbia, you're hoping to force game number 3 tomorrow night. They started so well last night, jumped out to a 4-1 lead. They had the lead the majority of the night until overtime, in fact, when they trailed 9-8 and then tied it, setting up the double overtime and the game winner for Braden Saris. Jackson Dillon has been one of their best offensive players in the tournament, and even he was quick to point out, despite the outcome, that was one fine game of lacrosse.
Yeah, it was a great lacrosse game. I mean, wasn't the outcome we wanted, but it's the same situation we were in yesterday. You know, we got to win 2 to 3 games, so we'll just come in with that mindset again.
You did get off to a great start in game 1. What might be 1 or 2 things that you could improve on tonight in game 2?
I mean, watch the transition. They got a couple fast guys on D. Stay out of the box. Their power play is great, and other than that, just keep cracking away on offense.
You have had a heck of a year. This is a very gifted, talented team. You must have a lot of confidence that you can come back and beat this team for the first time and force a game 3.
100%. I mean, I haven't been on a team like this ever. It's a special group. We're really close. I have no doubt that we'll get it done tonight. I think we're a great group. We'll get the job done.
It marks the second time that Coquitlam finds themselves in a must-win situation after losing a battle of 2-0 teams to Burlington to end the round robin here on Tuesday night. They needed to beat the Edmonton Miners. So they have been in this situation. But tonight, their season again on the line, and they face a Burlington team who, I don't know if they've shocked anyone here, but I'm not sure anybody might have thought that they would be perfect through the round robin. They're a perfect 4-0. They come back last night to win that game 10-9 in overtime. The Braden Saris goal early in the second overtime period. I've been impressed with a lot of their players here, their grit, their resilience. They made a huge trade with Peterborough that made all the difference in the world. but one guy for me that I've loved watching this week is Ty English. He's about to go to the University of North Carolina for a third straight year, and he and his teammates trying to stay level heading into a night that they hope they will cherish forever.
I think, one thing, not to get too ahead of ourselves, I think being able to pull out of that game and playing the way we did, I think throughout the entire game, honestly, the first and second period, primarily, not our best, but be able to grind that one out and really get that out and just get in the overtime period. I think that once we got there, we kind of saw our true colors there, and we were able to pull it out, and just kind of stay cool-headed going to this game, and same energy going in that overtime.
Well, I said last night, I thought your shorthanded goal that made it 4-2 might have been the real key moment in the game. Did you see it that way?
Not necessarily at the time. I think I'm getting out on the O when as a D player on shorthanded, just kind of grind the ball out. If I can beat my man one-on-one, so be it. But just kind of look for any opportunities, and it got lucky, and one came. So yeah.
How important will the start be tonight? Because I would guess that's the one area that you'd like to be a little different in game two.
The start, I think, just coming out, yeah. I think the first time we played them, we kind of came out strong, 4-1, I think it was, and then last time we played them, the opposite. But I think that plays a big role. Just coming out right off the get-go and being able to put them down and keep down on them.
My last one for you: how important is it to not get ahead of yourself in terms of there's a lot on the line tonight, but until there's another win, it doesn't matter?
Yeah, no, I think the guys are pretty juiced right now, being able to just look at the opportunity ahead of us tonight, what could be. But I think that the same mentality as we had yesterday, just one game at a time, and not to get too ahead of ourselves, and look at it like that.
Well, the two games they've played have just told you how even they've been. It was 10-8 in favor of Burlington in the round-robin game Tuesday, and then last night, as good a game as you'll ever get in Junior A lacrosse playoff action, the 10-9 double overtime. Both Jack Kask and Deacon Knott, the goaltenders, have been superb, but you might say that Knott has outdueled this gentleman, the 19-year-old from Coquitlam. Last night faced 53 shots, and he made several terrific saves at key times to get his team to overtime and then double overtime. And Kask will tonight be the night that he outplays the gentleman at the other end, because Deacon Knott, for me, has been as good a player as there's been in this event. 43 more saves last night, save percentage up to .868, which in lacrosse is exceptional. He's been the difference maker. He was part of a huge trade earlier this year with Peterborough that brought him on board, Ben Trumbull, and without Deacon Knott, who, by the way, is a second-round pick of the Philadelphia Wings of the National Lacrosse League, I'm not sure that Burlington is in this position. And the position is quite simple. A win tonight, and the Burlington Blaze will capture their first ever Minto Cup. They've never been here before. That is not the case for Coquitlam. They've won the title, this program. It's as good a Junior A program as there is in the country. This championship series marks their 8th appearance here in the last 12 years. Very gifted, led by Phillips, Milosky, Dillon, go on down the line. I think they're the most gifted team here, but can they stay with it and find a way to get us to Game 3? Well, Mr. Jansen, Cooper, Alina, they have done such a wonderful job all week long, and they are getting ready to bring us home. We are just moments away from game number 2 of the Minto Cup final here at the Bill Hunter Arena in Edmonton, and you have been watching the Pete the Plumber pregame show. And of course, Pete the Plumber and the Archdeacon family, a rich history in the sport of lacrosse. Pete was an excellent player. His son Jake played in 2 Minto Cups, and his dad Abe won the Minto Cup all the way back for Brampton in 1952. Hope you've enjoyed it. Can't wait to spin around in the chair and watch game number 2. That is where we'll go next. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you after the game. kept to the outside. Nice swim move onto the crease, and he scores! Miloski with another one, short side. This game number 5. Here's Miloski with it again through the middle of the David Cherney, and he bounces it home.
Rosa outside for Renier. Rosa sidearm! For the first time, the Burlington Blaze are Ontario Junior Lacrosse League champions.
Coming off the bench, faking the shot. Rockley has it, he shoots and scores! The Mounties beat the Miners 11-5 here at Maxwell in Calgary.
Fresh 30 as the Miners now starting to pick up the pace, get in front, they scored! The Edmonton Miners back-to-back Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League champions!
The Burlington Blaze are 1 win away from making history. Good evening. It's Cody Jansen, Cooper Perkins, Lena Axonchuk with you live inside Bill Hunter Arena in Edmonton, Alberta for the 2023 Minto Cup game number 2 after a thrilling opener on Friday night. Peter Labardius walked you through the pregame show. Now we get you set for the real deal. The Adnacks need a win to keep their season and Minto Cup dreams alive. But I think it's going to be looking at the star players who can elevate their games. I know Stuart Phillips had the assist yesterday, and for the Blaze, they got to find a way to get Alex Marinier going. So when you think about the star players, who has a better chance of elevating their game, and who do you think will take their game to a new level?
I think they each have an equal chance because Marinier and Phillips have each been so electric in this tournament in different ways, doing different things. I think the likelier of the two, though, is Stuart Phillips because Cody Malowski is going to attract so much attention tonight after the big night he had last night. It's one of those pick your poison situations if you're Burlington. We know Malowski is going to be dangerous. Are they going to let him beat them 2 nights in a row, or are they going to make Stuart Phillips step up? I think he is in for a big game. Not to say Alex Marinier may not have one as well. He has been fantastic throughout this tournament. If Burlington ends up on the power play a lot, I expect him to be having his name called quite a bit tonight.
Well, power plays were huge yesterday, as were the goaltending. More on that. Alina Axonchuk is standing by on the floor.
Alrighty, yeah, guys. Last night, the goaltending battle absolutely lived up to its hype. Both Coquitlam, Jack Cask, and Burlington's Deacon Knott had incredible performances, but tonight we'll get to see if one outshines the other.
Thank you, Alina. One of the big keys, you mentioned the power plays. It now comes down to who can be the more disciplined side. Each team only took 3 minors in the game yesterday, but it's when they happen. And I think for, the Adnacks captain and Luca Anton Giovanni, it was just the timeliness of the penalties that cost them, right? Your team ties it up in the first overtime. You can't be sitting in the sin bin for 2 after that. I just think that discipline is going to tell the story after 60 minutes is over.
I think you're 100% right. And if I was going to pick a side that might be prioritizing discipline over all else, I'm going to go with the Adnacks because you talk about Luca Anton Giovanni. Remember, he is the only holdover on this roster from their 2018 Minto Cup champion team. Those aren't just uncharacteristic mistakes for this team. Those are uncharacteristic mistakes for a leader who has been here before. I expect Peter Tellis and his team to make some adjustments going into this game and really emphasize discipline above all else. We know the Blaze are a disciplined group. Dan McRae has them locked in. They have been all summer long, particularly through their playoff run. But when it's all said and done, backs against the wall, you have to execute, you have to be disciplined. You gotta like Coquitlam's opportunity to do that here tonight.
What's the song? Hungriest dog eats. Well, I think that's going to be the story of this one. There you got to look at Deacon Knott. 43 saves yesterday, as Alina said. It's been such an interesting race between the pipes where Deacon Knott, Jack Cask, we've talked about them all tournament long, but yesterday was really the true test. And I think we saw both kids can kick. So it'll be interesting to see what type of performance they have for us in store for game number 2. As for the Adnacks across the floor, now it comes down to what adjustments has head coach Peter Tellis made for this game?
I think it's all just as simple as playing Adanac lacrosse. So getting out in transition and stretching the floor and being disciplined in their own end while still being aggressive. Those are the two qualities that have won them into this spot. You see Dan McRae, the head coach of the Burlington Blaze. You know his team is going to be ready for this moment. He is a winner by trade. He's going to be communicating to his guys what is necessary in a clinching scenario. Remember, they did it. They beat Orangeville in 6 games. They didn't let that go to a game 7. So they've been in this spot where they can take care of business and end things with one fell swoop. But to answer your question about Coquitlam, if they can get out in transition and put up 2, maybe 3 for Peter Ellis, I really like their chances in this game. It's an opportunity for them to get back to what they do so well, and we saw it in their semifinal win against Edmonton, stretching the floor. They're so dangerous.
Down to the floor for the anthems.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Best song in the world means let's play some lacrosse. The Burlington Blaze looking for their first Minto Cup. The Coquitlam Adanacs hunting for their 4th. They'll need to win 2 straight, and it all starts with game number 2. Tonight's starting goaltenders for you in this contest. Well, we've got a doozy again as both made 43 saves. In white for the Adanacs, it'll be Jack Kask at .838 save percentage, 7.38 goals against average.
Jack Kask is so good but has to be careful to not have any lulls. There have been moments, 2, 3, 4 minutes at a time where Kask has struggled to make the easy stops. If he can avoid any of those stretches in this game, his team will be in a great position. But on the counter side, if we see another sequence like we did last night where he goes 7 minutes having a hard time making those saves, it's really going to be an uphill battle. They need him at his best the entire 60 minutes.
Across the floor from him, Deacon Knott, an .863 save percentage.
Does this guy have a weakness? If he does, we haven't seen it yet because he has been at the top of his game since the beginning of the Ontario playoffs. Really, I mean, he's carried that momentum from the Orangeville series right into the Minto Cup. Unquestionably has been the best goaltender here in Edmonton. If they win the Minto Cup this year, it will be because of Deacon Knott, right? Often it comes down to who has the best goaltender, and Burlington throughout the postseason has had the better man between the pipes regardless of who they've played. He has been so fun to watch. The question is, how many goals is he going to steal tonight? Because you know there are between 2 and 5 goals that Deacon Knott is going to take away that other goalies wouldn't. That's to keep an eye on.
It's the battle of the Bens on the stripe, and it's Trumbull who comes away with the opening face-off. Jack Kask makes his first save of the game. Congill gets the outlet pass over from Fritsch, and the Adanacs, well, they were able to capitalize in transition yesterday. We'll see what type of start they have. Charney inside look, crease dive, scores! 24 seconds in, Stuart Phillips has his first of the Minto Cup final.
You couldn't have started any better if you're Coquitlam. Doing the 2 things that you need to do to win this game, getting in transition and getting goals from Stuart Phillips. The Stars have to show up in the biggest games, and Phillips looking like a little bit of a Ryan Lee clone there. The way he dives across the crease, so Ryan Lee-esque. That reach of his gets around the goaltender better than anyone we've seen in the tournament. That is a picture-perfect start for the Coquitlam Adanacs.
Kind of like you can see the future, Cooper. I'm a little scared with your pregame hit. It seems to be bang on, and the Adnacks are rolling early. Here's Phillips again. A little bit of a heat check. Deacon Knott makes a save, controls the rebound. Alexis Samar back up the floor. Been one of the most consistent defenders on this Blaze side. McLeod outside look. Casco make the sink. Congill goes for a run. Help up the floor, but he decides to wait it out. Does a good reverse transition for the Blaze. Gets their defense set. Jackson Dillon. Semple zips this one back. Little look by Dukeman. Pump fake, lost the ball. Back the other way. Here comes Boyle on a breakaway. 5-hole scores. Just like that, Brendan Boyle responds. It's 1-1.
This starts with the Adnecks trying to initiate on the righty side. Now, Austin Dukeman at times in this tournament has been guilty of holding onto the ball a little bit too long. He has that big frame that he likes to use to try and muscle into the middle of the floor, but there are times and places for it. The double team comes, he tries to get away from it, but he's already run himself into too much trouble. Credit to Boyle, credit to the Burlington Blaze. That's the response that they needed in this game.
Bill Hunter is buzzing. Both the road fans have shown up, and it just seems like their crowds keep growing as this tournament goes on. Back the other way, it's Jackson Fritsch. Thought about pulling up from the restraining line. Decides to wait. He's got a goal and an assist in this tournament. Now he's stripped of the ball for a second. Phillips in there to help. Bodies collide. Here goes Wills. Owen Wills now. Up top finds Volkov. The Russian machine, as they call him. Little dish back. Big Chuck Rawson. York keeps it hot. Hard pick by Marinier, and Saris has to let it go.
If you're Burlington, though, you can live with that because Marinier is trying to make his presence felt early in this game. He needs to do more than just score the ball. He has to be that teammate for Saris on that side. You can live with that there.
Dukeman now using his feet to get open. Semple back up top. Another high pass. Dillon corrals it. 7 on the shot clock. Dillon back over to Semple. It's over his head. Charbonneau dumps this down into the corner as he's taken to the turf.
They didn't connect in the pass, but really nice feel by Max Semple to make the cut. He plays just like Blaze Reardon for the Philadelphia Wings. The way he uses his size, the way he uses his IQ. Good idea, just wrong execution.
Rossa won't shoot, runs it down. Anton Giovanni will defend. 3 goals, 6 assists in the tournament. McLeod zips over to Rosa. Rosa, little flip up top, and that ball went off the pipe and rips all the way back to Deacon Knott. Marinier with the good look, and now we got a dart coming back the other way. Knott hit him with one. 3-on-2. Casco a piece. No. Rosa puts home the one-timer. It's 2-1 Blaze.
I love Josh Rosa's game. He created the initial opportunity that sent that ball off the post all the way back to the other end, and then maneuvers his way around the crease. He's just mirroring there. He knows where he has to be to give his teammate Zach Thompson a passing lane. Great feel around the goal. Rosa does those little things so well. We don't necessarily call his name a lot because he doesn't score a ton of goals, but when he does, it's because of things like that where he's putting himself in the right positions.
3 goals in the tournament. Ty English now zips it up top. Saris outside for Thompson. Wants a little backhand flip. Goes through the middle of traffic. Brooks English tied up with Fritsch. Ty English stepped out. Goes wide. Rebound for York, and he bobbled it. Battle ensues in the ozone. Knock now. They got the reset. Still put it on goal, though. Now he's going to be pinched off by Anton Giovanni. Coquitlam settles it down here. Stuart Phillips opened the scoring 24 seconds in. Haven't had anything in the 4 minutes after that. Ramos Shinato. Defender Volkov all over him. Flip back for Phillips. 10 on the shot clock. Phillips finds Malowski. Phillips inside. Almost got a load of high off. Rebound pops up. Shinato with the twister. Ends up outside, and a second straight one's going to end up out of play.
One thing that really stands out in the first 5 minutes of this game are the way that the Blaze are dominating the battle of physicality. They've decided that they want to be the more physical team in the opening period, and they're beating up the Adanacs. Not to say there isn't time to make an adjustment, but it's just a different style of play than they've seen.
Saris now got that out the right arm of Kask. We did see the Adanacs take it to the Blaze in period number 1 last night. Dan McCray and company flipped the switch awfully quick though. Max Semple in the corner. Ty English will defend. Semple back for Dillon. Uncharacteristically missed that pass. Now it's going the other way. Trumbull scored in game 1. Trumbull kicked out. Back in front of the penalty boxes. It's Rawson. 9 points in the tournament so far. Anton Giovanni's up top to defend. Now it's Marinier. Zips one for Thompson inside. Saris stopped by Kask. Here's Musso now trying to go far side high. Teams have had success going up high to the glove side on Deacon Knott. This one's off the mark though. Stuart Phillips off the pick and roll. Cody Malowski back for Phillips. Quick stick. Ends up wide. Wills now pushes back Stewart, and that'll be an over and back. As now Bradenberg in the middle. I believe they'll just settle it down. No calls coming. Only 6 penalties in the entire game yesterday. But 71 minutes we played. Felt like a nice pace. I didn't mind that for playoff lacrosse. Here come the Blaze. Rawson down to the corner. McLeod scans the floor. Push back of the Minto logo. Bouncer by Marinier. That'll end up being over and back. Ramos Shinato can't get up to it, or you would have had a breakaway. Max Semple, 4 goals, 8 assists in his Minto Cup appearance for the Adanacs. Looking to win their first since 2018. They won one when it was in Calgary. Dillon now, room to fire. Tests out with the logo of Deacon Knott, but we got a call upcoming, and the Adanacs are going to the power play. Two for holding will be the call. And next on the power play, 1 for 3 yesterday. Cody Malowski, 3 goals in the game. We'll see who they run through, but it'll be Stuart Phillips to quarterback the unit up top. Malowski for Phillips over the DLA Piper logo. He'll have to regroup, plenty of time. Malowski, Phillips stepped out, save made by Knott. Now up top, the forecheck. Almost stopped Volkov, but he rolls off of it. 3-on-1. Volkov, Bradenberg. Ty English hits the brakes. Stomped by Kask.
Great vision by Volkov to pull up and find a teammate.
Stuart Phillips the other way. Slings it down for Cody Malowski. Pass was a little in tight on the hands. Couldn't let it go. Dukeman, Charney on his left. Malowski in the lefty shooter spot. Phillips, low to high. That'll be over and back with 60 seconds left on the power play. Cam York. 2 points so far in the tournament. Has Thompson up top on the restraining line. Outside look, Marinier from distance is stopped. Blaze penalty kill 66% in game number 1. Behind the play, Marinier. Little extra shot on his defender. It's all part of the gamesmanship. We saw a couple of massive hits yesterday in game number 1. These two teams have sparked an instant rivalry when going for the biggest trophy in junior lacrosse. Malowski, Phillips, down low. Favreau zips one across. Charlie quick stick wide. Rebound. Bounces out of play by Favreau.
David Charney's one of those guys that always seems to be around the ball without touching it a whole lot. Just finds a way to make an impact without needing the ball in his stick for more than a second or two at a time.
Thinks the game at an RIT level. So there you get a nice look in the penalty box. It's a close-up. Ty English now had an opportunity shorthanded. Now he zips one over to McLeod. Got cast down early. Ball misses. Ty English, shot clock late. Got it inside to Saris, who's robbed by Kask. Jack Kask now 8 saves already. The start of period number 1. Boy, he's been tested early. Charbonneau. Hat-trick against the Miners in the semifinals. They beat the hosts 11-6 just to get here. Jackson Dillon now drives and scores, but they'll say he stepped in the crease. Back the other way. It's Boyle. Does he have 2 in him? Behind the play, Deacon Knott is slow to get up, and they'll blow it down as Coghill pulls back up, and the trainer's going to come out and get a look at Deacon Knott.
Dillon wiped out right into his legs, and it looks like holding that left ankle just through his pads. Very much hoping that Knott is as close to his healthiest self as possible. Get a second look here. Dillon coming in. Takes a light push. Not enough for anyone to call a penalty on anything there, but a bit of a car crash, as we might call it, out in front of the net.
Well, you could see he almost landed on that left ankle. It wasn't like he fully hammered Deacon Knott's leg by any means, but he fell on it a little bit awkwardly, and I think that's what Knott's saying is, hey, something's maybe just a little bit off, and being the warrior he is, looks like he'll be okay. Here's another angle of the play, and watch Deacon Knott's left foot. You can kind of see it in front of Bradenburg. That's where Dillon falls, and it looks like he's up and at her as the trainer heads back to the bench. And it'll be Adnak's ball with 10:17 to go, period number 1.
Adnak's got the righty side out that's their most dangerous when Charney and Phillips team up.
Favreau. Phillips. Phillips now around a hard pick by Charney. 15 on the shot clock. Favreau. Back to Phillips, zips one across. Good ball movement here by the Adnaks. Phillips to the middle. Deacon Knott looking just fine, makes the shoulder stop. Behind the play, Charney got dumped. Never had possession, so Burlington's going to turn this one over. We'll see if Darren Fritsch can get the offense going. Lone goal by Stuart Phillips, but it was a transition play that they were able to capitalize on. Cody Malowski outside look. Deacon Knott makes it look easy. Hard hit on Bradenburg. Semple dumps it for Charney. Now to Dukeman. Dukeman's got 3 in the tournament. Semple, long range. Trumbull with the Wills. 2-on-0 back the other way. It's Trumbull on a break. Twister got stopped. Wills couldn't grab the rebound. Penalty upcoming. And I believe it's going to be Ty Banks setting up. Two for cross-checking is the call. Blaze, 2 for 3 on the power play yesterday.
I don't know about that.
It is in the numbers. Not sure we've seen it called all tournament though. Burlington going to the power play. First time in this contest. Saris, the OT winners up top. It's Marinier, back to Thompson. Thompson outside look. Bounces off the boards. Plenty of time left. Doesn't on the ticker. Saris, Thompson, step down, rips that one right off the cage of the defender. But a penalty's coming, and I believe it's going to be Anton Giovanni going to the sin bin.
Well, you talked about only 6 penalties last night in 71 minutes, so naturally you set us up to have a whole bunch tonight.
Yes, Cooper, it's all my fault. There you get a look.
That one you can agree with. Late in the back.
5-on-3. Marinier, Saris, the 2 righties. McLeod, Thompson, the 2 lefties. Saris, Marinier. Saris now inside cut, trying to go 5-hole. Good play by Jack Kask, not to bite.
Fridge did a nice job moving his feet there to kind of make them play that back and forth game. Didn't overcommit.
Ball ends up on the turf for a second. The Blaze are going to scoop this one forward, though. It's Brooks English on a break. Brooks English hits the brakes. Back out for Samard, right in the middle, and he puts it in the breadbasket of Kask. Now Kask tries to throw behind the back, and he turns it over. Unforced error means the 5-on-3 gets to go back to work. We'll see if the Blaze can make him pay now. Marinier and McLeod are your shooters on the power play. Saris and Thompson will play down low. Saris, Thompson, quick stick, easy work. 3-1, Burlington.
Just a textbook 4-on-3 run by the Burlington Blaze. Saris is looking for this pass across the crease the whole time, waiting for the passing lane to open up, trying to work that defender up high enough, then whips it over to Thompson. He's as good as anyone on the quick stick, but it's that little game of catch. It draws the defender Turpin up high enough where Saris has the clear lane. Again, just a perfectly executed 4-on-3.
It's better than a lot of NLL teams are running their 4-on-3s, and that's why players like Saris, Marinier, they're so close to that next level. They are as close as it gets, and when their draft time comes up, you know they're going to be top round players. Power play still has 20 seconds left. Samard up the floor. 2-on-1 now. McLeod's on the back door. Feed comes from Rosa, and it got knocked down on the back check. I believe that was Kennett who got his stick in the way. Now he rips it up. Ramos Shinato climbs the tower. Tries a swim move around Wills and Knock batted the ball away. Now he'll win the battle with Malowski as well. Burlington hungrier in this opening frame. Boyle push back. Yeah, that's got to be over and back. Is a good play by Luca Anton Giovanni. Forces him over the center line. Here's the knock and Shinato collision. Dukeman, the new West kid, trying to cut down low to the net. Bouncer ends up in the netting above the boards. Volkov for Rawson. Rawson, I feel, had his strongest game of the tournament in game number 1. Inside, Marinier denied by Kask. Blaze are getting all the looks they want, and it feels like fatigue might be setting in for the NX. Dillon. Charney zips one over to Semple. Back for Dillon. Dillon had one in period 1 yesterday. 2 to shoot. Semple end of the clock. And this is just off the mark again. The Blaze defense giving them nothing to look at. Will McLeod, couple of clutch goals in period number 3 yesterday. Thompson. Little inside look. Rosa was knocked to the ground. Here goes Ramos Shinato. Trying to force a pass to Turpin.
Shinato's made some uncharacteristically over-aggressive decisions. Usually he's the pull it up and get it to the offense type. Maybe a little bit of pressure for the Adnaks as you sense their D guys trying to do a little bit too much.
Down by 2, less than 5 to go. Period number 1. Ball in the air, and it's Melch. Landed what could be the hit of the tournament last night on Zach Thompson. Boy, that's one tough kid who popped right back up. Got back on the scoreboard as well a few minutes after. Back in the D zone, Vradenberg. Help comes from Tassie, and the loose ball is scooped up by Trumbull. Will McLeod. Thompson inside. Rawson scores, and they'll say he stepped in the crease.
Adnaks get away with one ball watching that time. A great backdoor cut by Rawson.
Dillon zips this one 100 feet into the corner. It's the Drexel product, and Max Semple finds Charney. Cody Malowski. Little swim move, trying to get around Samard. Finds Charney in the middle, and he's stripped of the ball. Got it on the roll is Favreau. And this is going to bounce back to the logo where Musso holds it up. 3:37 to go, period number 1. Stuart Phillips opened the scoring for the Adnaks 24 seconds in. They have been ice cold since. Rawson on the roll. Marinier can't squeak one through Cask.
Cask is giving them exactly what they need in the first, making the saves he needs to. He's taken away a couple on one-on-none situations, but they need more offense.
Stuart Phillips for Cody Malowski. Malowski thought about driving on Volkov. Ball bouncing around the slot right now. Dukeman and Phillips unable to pry it free. Cooper and Jackson. Someone Dan McCrae says doesn't get talked about enough. But boy, he's one of the heartbeats of our defense. Does all the little things correct. Rawson for Rosa. Rosa trying to burn around the corner. Now it's scooped up. Rawson is going to get a reset. Defender couldn't handle it. Marinier stepped out, ends up going off the right toe of Cask. Mellish wants it in the corner for Saris. Those two have been battling all game. Broken stick on the ground. McLeod trying to go far side. Marinier couldn't control the rebound though. Here's Charney. Malowski for Semple. Charney backdoor. Malowski inside. He runs into net. Penalties upcoming in, and I believe it'll be on the Adnaks.
Yeah, they're going to get Malowski for goaltender interference. Knott already took one shot on a dive from Jackson Dillon earlier in this opening period. You see here, good feed from Charney and Malowski just trying to get out across the crease. Took a little bit of a push there from Ben Trumbull. It's so interesting, the way Cody Malowski plays. On ball, he's a lot like Jesse King. Off ball, he's a lot like Wesley Bird. Kind of a hybrid of those two guys.
It's almost like his dad coached the Roughnecks or something.
Once upon a time.
McLeod up top, right in the highway. Shot misses the mark though. Blaze 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Zach Thompson scored on the 5-on-3 already this frame. Luca Anton Giovanni. 4 penalties in this Minto Cup final already for the Adnex captain. Stuart Phillips, fancy footwork inside, scores! Oh, they'll say he stepped in the crease. He ran into Knott as well, and Knott certainly wasn't happy about that. Here's a look at the replay. You can see it, that left foot. A little fast, they must have said his toe was in the crease, and the refs are a lot closer than us up in the broadcast booth. Power play continues. Less than a minute to go, period number 1. Here's McLeod. Back for Saris. On the ground, Anton Giovanni can't get it. Wise move by Rosa to keep his momentum running to the neutral zone, because if you hit the brakes, the defender's all over you. Now you can get the power play set up comfortably. McLeod rips it back. Rosa has Marinier. Ludalow scores! Alex Marinier on the power play, and it's 4-1 Blaze.
That's the first one Cask's probably going to want back tonight, but a nice setup by Marinier. He's going to use Fridge's hip as a little screen to get this shot through. Fridge comes out and it sneaks right past both his leg and Cask. Good look at that around Fridge. That's a deflating goal, though, with 33.1 seconds left in the opening period. We talked about Stuart Phillips at the top of the broadcast and him needing to have a big game for the Adnex. Alex Marinier in the same role for the Blaze. Both have delivered in the first.
Back the other way. Burlington will have a final possession here. They're going to keep Deacon Knott in the net, though, and they won't go 6-on-5. Saris sets the pick. Ball comes back to Rawson. Penalty upcoming behind the net. Ty English got his stick up high on his defender, it looked like.
Yep. As simple as you put it, got his stick up high, up behind the net.
Oh!
Right into the chops of Ben Musso.
What a great camera angle. Thanks to our friends at HNLive for throwing together the production of this Minto Cup, which has been absolutely fantastic. Get a good angle, and it will be a 5-minute major. At 3-2, and now Ty English is sitting in the sin bin for a full 5, and the Adnex can score 2 on a power play.
And that's maybe their best penalty killer.
Absolutely. Adnex, one chance this period. Malowski back over to Dukeman. Ball goes off the top of his stick, and at the end, Phillips goes and runs over his defender. Blaze want a call. I believe it was Samar who was dumped into the boards. Refs still have a word with Phillips. Yeah, that one was maybe a little after the fact. We'll see as the refs are going to discuss it. Burlington obviously not happy. They want to have some words with the officials. But after 20 minutes of play, the Burlington Blaze 2 periods away from lifting the Minto Cup. They are up 4-1 on the Coquitlam Adnex. 2 power play goals in that period. One came from Zach Thompson, the other came from Alex Marinier, who's had himself a much better game partner.
And he made his impact early away from the ball. By inserting himself in that role as a primary pick setter for Braden Saris, attracted a different kind of attention. Once he's been able to get his stick on the ball, he's as dangerous of a shooter as anyone in this tournament. We've seen it time and again, delivering at the end of that first period. Love his game.
Well, now let's throw it down to floor level as Alina Axenchuk is standing by.
Alrighty, Ryan, what do you guys need to work on heading out into the next period of play?
I think we just need to keep swinging the ball. I mean, we're playing pretty hard. Just get the ball in the middle, get some inside looks, keep shooting the ball.
What's going to be the message to the guys into the room to get that fire under your guys' butts?
I think we got a pretty good fire. I mean, our coaches, we're prepared for this, so you just keep going, keep grinding.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
Ryan Favreau there, 5 goals in the tournament. Hadnax are going to have to find their offense if they want to push back, down 4-1 as we head into the first intermission on HNLive.
The Minto Cup on HNLive is brought to you by Volvo of Edmonton, your trusted Volvo retailer in Alberta. DLA Piper. Learn more today at dlapiper.com. Swift Oil Fuel Supply Incorporated, Canadian owned, customer focused. And by Second Slide. Find out how to get your club an online corner store today at secondslide.io. The Minto Cup on HNLive is brought to you by Volvo of Edmonton, your trusted Volvo retailer in Alberta. DLA Piper. Learn more today at dlapiper.com. Swift Oil Fuel Supply Incorporated, Canadian owned, customer focused. And by Second Slide. Find out how to get your club an online corner store today at secondslide.io.
You got what
The Minto Cup on HNLive is brought to you by Volvo of Edmonton, your trusted Volvo retailer in Alberta. DLA Piper. Learn more today at dlapiper.com. Swift Oilfield Supply Incorporated. Canadian owned, customer focused. And by Second Slide. Find out how to get your club an online corner store today at secondslide.io.
Well, 40 minutes as the Burlington Blaze look to cross the bridge into their first Minto Cup championship, up 4-1, largely in part thanks to Zach Thompson, a goal and 2 assists for him. Here you get a look at the fancy ball movement as Saris hit him on the back door for a power play goal. They had 2 power play markers in that first period, and their offense looked sharp. But Cooper, I think there was a factor of the Adnacks looked very tense in that opening frame.
I expected them to relax a little bit. After Stuart Phillips scored the game's first goal 24 seconds in, I thought that would kind of give them a sense of relief. But that first 20 minutes, thematically for the Adnacks, really kind of comes back to, as you said, tension. They don't look comfortable. I wonder to what extent they might be tired. Jack Kask has been playing the best lacrosse of his career, but also this is the most he's played in a short amount of time. You have to wonder, is fatigue a factor for the Adnacks? Peter Tellis would tell us no, I'm sure, if we asked him. But nonetheless, it's a question that I think we'll have to have answered in this second period, because I don't necessarily think that the Blaze played such a tremendous first period. They did a lot of things the right way and did not make any major mistakes. The Adnacks, though, haven't really applied pressure on them. In order to capitalize upon mistakes and to force your opponent into making those mistakes, you have to put them in uncomfortable situations, and the Blaze have not been in any uncomfortable situations. They may be the franchise that is in their first Minto Cup appearance, but they look like they're the more comfortable team, and a lot of that probably comes back to their battle-tested run through the Ontario playoffs, right? You look at them beating Orangeville in the finals in 6 games. They've been in a very similar situation to this, an opportunity to clinch a series and avoid a winner-take-all final game. That's an experience that is irreplaceable.
Ben Coghill allows the next power play going to work. Now Ty English in the sin bin for 5 minutes. A major high-sticking penalty late in period number 1. Now the Adnacks have a chance to claw back. Cody Malowski quarterbacks the power play. Charney inside, simple, scores. 20 seconds into period 2, it's 4-2.
Great find by Charney and Semple. Silky mitts out in front of the net. Good ball movement. Malowski skips it into Charney. Just a one-touch, quick stick of a pass. And Semple, quick cut, had his defender turned around up top. Trumbull was looking at Malowski, and that's just great ball movement, plain and simple. The ball moves faster than the players can, and Semple, great recognition to get open.
Semple's got his 5th of the tournament, and the Adnacks power play, that's clicking at 50%. Now gets another chance here. You can add 2 on the major, but English has to serve the whole thing, which is a huge loss, as you pointed out, Cooper, as he is one of their best penalty killers. Favreau said, hey, we got that fire under our butts. We're ready to go. Charney. Malowski. Step down, low to low, got saved. Rebound, scores! On the putback, it's Ryan Favreau with his 6th of the tournament, and the lead's cut in half.
Favreau is such a fun player to watch because he does so much while touching the ball so seldom. He's always in those dirty areas ready for a rebound, whether it's a backside feed on a quick stick or like this off the shot from Malowski. Favreau has a nose for the lacrosse ball. He's built differently, but similarly short to Dan Littner from Saskatchewan. They don't play exactly the same, but he's got shades of Dan's game in him.
Well, Dan went to Cornell. Favreau goes to Colgate. Not the same, not that different.
You gotta be smart either way.
A lot smarter than the guy with the headset on right now and myself. Here's Semple. We're back to even strength on the floor as Charney goes and dumps his defender, and Boyle in front. Back the other way, it's Brooks English. Rossin off the bench. Brooks English now will peel some paint off the pipe.
Perfect start to this second for Coquitlam. I don't think that can be overstated.
McLeod down for Rossin in the corner. Rossin trying to evade Turpin. Marinier now, jump back, scores! The big man responds. It's Alex Marinier with his 10th of the tournament.
This is just pure skill by Alex Marinier and a little bit of a field lacrosse move. He gets the feed from Rossin, sees his defender Mellish, and baits him into that sweep up top with the jump shot back to the near pipe. That's one Kask might want back, but nonetheless, it's just a great shot by Alex Marinier. Those are the skill plays that he's capable of making. We talked about him at the top of the broadcast. He is the superstar that if Burlington's going to clinch this thing, probably going to be because he had a big night. That's his second.
Well, you get a little Wilt Chamberlain 13 jump in there as well as Marinier now put him on hat trick. Watch the Blaze back up by 2. Boy, that got their bench up awfully quick as well as 60 seconds in. I think they started to look back at the Adnaks who are rolling. Saras sips one across. Smaloud cuts to the net. Stopped by Kask.
Great save by Kask, and that's an important stop too.
Couple seconds left for the outlet, and Banks had his pass knocked down, got it right back, and he found Turpin. Malowski inside for Dillon. Deacon not been handling most of the outside shots cleanly in this game, and mostly throughout the tournament. Braden Burke thought about staying and playing for a second. Now he'll go off for a change. Marinier. Down for Rossin. Thompson, a little bouncer on goal. Kask makes a save. Rossin's got the rebound. Marinier now trying to go high 5-hole again. This time Kask doesn't bite.
Those were not too high degree of difficulty saves for Kask, but they're really important in settling his confidence back down. That goal from Marinier sneaks in the near pipe. He plays his angles really well that time down the floor and makes 2 stops.
High scoring start to this middle frame. Charbonneau, little outside dance, and as Deacon Knott was beat, and the ball can't get in the yawning cage. Ben Trumbull, the face-off specialist. Scored against the Adnaks in game 1. Saras, Trumbull, there's another. Double it up. Burlington up 6-3.
Just a shot around a screen as the defender, Robbie Turpin. See the feed from Saras, and right around the defender. Kask gets a little bit lost coming off his post. See, he takes this step a little too high, leaning the wrong way. And that's where Jack Kask has been vulnerable at times. He's looked like he is guessing here and there. When he's at his best, he's balanced and on his toes, but not leaning. He's not trying to make that early step. He's not cheating. Burlington has him thinking a little bit right now, and Trumbull buries it as a result.
Trumbull has 2 so far in the Minto Cup. They've come of the past 2 games. Blaze looked to tack on more. Will McLeod. This one won't go. Rosa goes for a jump, can't grab the loose ball. Back the other way, it's a breakaway. Turpin buries. Back-to-back games with goals for Robbie Turpin, and the Ednecks have 4.
What a shot by Robbie Turpin. He has all the time in the world to set this up and comes to the near side on Deacon Knott. He's been so good on that stick side, not expecting him to come over to the glove side, and Turpin just tucks it back past him. That's testing the goaltender at his strong spot. Like that was an impressive, just a thought by Turpin to even try that, let alone make it go.
Blaze bench thinks crease violation was missed. Again, the refs don't have access to the replays either here. No video review in the Minto Cup. They're doing their best out there, and they've been pretty good all week long. Ramo Shinato spins back on Samar. And next started the period hot, in Burlington responded with a couple of their own. Semple, Malowski, 10 on the shot clock. Semple opens up space. Malowski drives and scores. Number 1 of the game for number 2, and it's 6-5.
If that isn't Jesse King, I don't know what is. Cody Malowski has this bag of tricks that he's developed at just 19 years old, and this is just pretty work. Watch him pick his way through the defense. He's got the alternate captain Boyle, gets a great pick from Semple, and then recognizes he's got a lane. Crosses his fingers up a little bit, gets his hands free for the shot. He's seen that a zillion times in Calgary. Jesse King to a T. Cody Malowski is gonna be such a special player in this game. He's shown it all tournament long. One goal after another that just puts your jaw on the floor.
He's got a dozen in Edmonton this week. Now the Ednecks back down by 1. Ty English out of the sin bin as well after serving his 5-minute major. Brooks English battles through a couple of checks.
You know, final thought on Malowski. If there's a player guaranteed for NLL success, it's got to be him.
It's got the Perkins guarantee stamp on it. Down low, Saris, backdoor feed. Cass got over in time. Moving right to left. What a save by the first-year junior A starter in Jack Kask.
See, Kask is so good when he's not thinking.
Anton Giovanni with the loose ball. Hands it off, and it'll be Jackson Fritsch to go for a run. Dukeman now. Knock on O'Donnell. Phillips is in the corner. Little behind the back flip. Dukeman unable to corral another pass in the slot after getting that separation. Now Malowski avoids the crease. 2 on the shot clock. Simple on net. Deacon Knott makes a save, and the rebound falls to his defender. Outlet pass ahead of Jackson. No chance for him to catch it. And back the other way, Musso. Tempo's changed here. The Ednecks on their heels for most of period number 1. Have the Blaze on their heels for a second. Cody Malowski now. Can't drive through the middle. Dylan Malowski, step down bouncer. This one's gonna end up in the stands.
You know, one underrated aspect of Cody Malowski's game is his footwork. Not just around the crease, but everywhere on the floor. That possession was kept alive by him staying out of the crease.
Interesting note, Logan Mellish is now stick to the traditional stick. Little stick switch here on defense. In front, York with the twister, denied by Kask.
When Kask is at his best, he just plays those angles so well. Takes away a lot of surface area.
Talking with people in the minors organization, they say Wednesday night he just felt unbeatable. When you're playing a goaltender who's in your head, that's as tough as it gets. Charney, the bouncer. This one's gonna go all the way back, and it won't be over and back, but Brooks English can hop up the floor. Brother Ty is in the corner. Help comes in the form of McLeod. They'll slow it down. Rawson out as well with Thompson as the three lefties. Marinier knocked down to the turf. Ball still rolls to McLeod. Ball goes wide. Kask has it, and he goes for the Hail Mary pass, and it ends up in the late fixture. Almost ended up in our broadcast cameras as well. But it'll be a turnover called on Kask, and Sars and company go to work with 11:53 left in period number 2. Blaze up 1-0 in the series after a 10-9 overtime win last night here in Bill Hunter Arena. Marinier for Rawson, defended by Coquitlam. Clark got burnt towards the net. Flip back for Rawson by McLeod. And I'm not sure he was expecting that pass. Next Stemple, one of the contests, came on a power play. Stemple now. Thought about coming to the middle, ends up getting knocked back. On the roll, feed for Dukabin, rolls to naught. Blaze back up the floor. Dan McCray is saying, hey, we're a high energy team here. We can run a little bit quicker. Heard Favreau as well for the Adnax say we got to swing the ball a little bit more. We'll see what offense can elevate their game in a one-goal contest. Saris misses the mark. Ball's on the ground. Big hit laid by Ty Banks. Ramos Shinado now. McLeod's on the back check. He got bottom side. Shinado robbed by Knott.
Shinado is sneaky skilled at his size. Kind of lulls transition defenders to sleep.
4 points in the tournament. 2 of those in the goal column. Favreau for Phillips. Phillips now inside. Dukeman stripped of the ball again. Phillips. They gave him a reset. Favreau had Knott biting the wrong way. Still put it off his left glove. Into the corner. English. Favreau now caught back on defense. Long change in this second period. Marinier. Marinier short side. Kask makes the save. Rebound pops up.
That was a lot tougher of a read for Kask than it looks.
Clark now waits for the offensive experts to jump out on the floor. Cody Malewski, 24 points in 5 games. Coming into game 2 of the Minto Cup final. Phillips now on the restraining line. Flip for Charney. Far side save made. Rebound. Somehow that stays out.
What a shift by David Charney, though. Sets a great pick, rolls perfectly, and gets not 1 but 2 shots away. Again, he makes such an impact on the game without touching the ball a lot.
Thompson. Rosa. Little fake pass. Cut underneath. Rosa crease time. Got a little too much here. Over and back call. And so Ty English has to leave it where it lays. Favreau. For Duke. Little spin back. Kicked out to Charbonneau. Hat-trick in the semifinals against Edmonton. Inside Charney, couple of fakes denied by Knott. Now they'll say he stepped to the crease, can't grab the rebound.
Still, Knott does such a good job staying balanced. He makes the shooter commit before he makes any move at all.
Tassi for Marinier. Marinier, 2 in the game, 10 in the tournament. McLeod inside Saris. Stopped by Kask. Burlington possession back. Ontario versus BC. for the Minto Cup. It's game number 2 on HNLive. Anton Giovanni, ball ends up on the turf. And next, Faithful try to motivate their boys. Down by 1 here. Malowski slings it across. Dukeman inside, feet outside, in front, and the ad next. Well, they're not happy with Phillips, but he ends up in the crease. Crease times becoming a bit of a controversy here at the Minto Cup. Whether it's hitting the goalie toes in the crease or the cylinder rule. Sure, it'll be talked about for a lot more than just tonight. Backdoor feed. Rosa wide open. Oh, Jack Kask is giving him a puncher's chance for sure.
What a turnaround for Jack Kask. He looks so locked in this second period. It's like maybe he just needed a breather to get that tension out that we talked about at the top of the second here.
And the Annex were getting outshot 21-17 after that opening frame. Locked it in at both ends here. Favreau. Roller got up high on the Blaze netminder, and now Ty English will head north. Help comes off the bench in the form of Braden Saris. The OT hero last night for the Ontario champs. Saris again. Little inside cut, twister on goal. Kask was in position. Marinier to York. Here's McLeod on the half wall. Clark steps in, tries to work him down. Saris on the logo. Denied one more time. They get the reset here. 5:45 to go, period number 2. Saris and Marinier, two-man game. Marinier's on hat-trick watch, and boy, he found himself with some free real estate. Shinato up the floor. Shinato, 5-4. Save me. Track meet continues. You know, that's to the much pleasure of Nick Volkov. The big man seems like he never gets tired. Marinier. Rose is up top. McLeod. Kask got enough. Well, it's being played at a high pace. It feels like the quality of scoring chances have lowered a little bit.
A lot from the outside, but also good goaltending.
Cody Malowski trying to put it around the defender. It's in Knott's feet, but he made the save. Brooks English, 2-on-1 with Rawson if he wants. Brooks now pushed back. Good chase by Anton Giovanni. Negates the odd man rush. Now it's Saris sneaking back door, trying to go up high again, and Jack Kask. A little bit of a hop, a little bit of Christian Del Bianco in that save.
Wonder where he learned that one.
Maybe his goalie coach. Favreau. Back for Charbonneau. Outside to Phillips, and he'll ring iron. Charbonneau's got 3-3 in the tournament. Had a hat trick in the first period against the Miners. Here you get a look at the chance that went off the post and bounced into the ceiling. Shot clock reset. Favreau. Back for Phillips. The sniper acquired via Langley in season. Dukeman, he'll drive, twister, won't go. Penalty upcoming though. The Annex are going to the power play.
Dukeman's body is just so big, and he uses it well, especially when he has the ball in his stick. Puts Boyle in a tough spot. He gets called for the penalty at the 3:37 mark. But it's just a big physical frame of Dukeman. He's got this size advantage. Tassi the defender, then Boyle comes over, just trying to get something on him as Dukeman pops free in front of the net. For Dan McCray and company, can probably live with that penalty. It prevents what would have been a pretty great chance, but don't want to be down a man after giving up a pair of power play goals to start this period.
Well, technically, the Adnax power play's 2 for 2. Although the Blaze killed off 1. They just scored twice on the major. 3 power play goals in the Minto Cup final for the Adnax. They're on the man advantage one more time. Malowski. Back pedal. Trying to hit Phillips on the roll. He bobbled it down. Malowski. Simple. Puts it in the pants. A knot. Now it's Knock. He'll run it up the floor. Zach Thompson slows it down. Boy, Zach Thompson has only gotten better as this tournament's gone along.
Yeah, he's a player that's grown in the tournament.
Rosa. It'll cut down on Fridge. He's pushed into the corner though. Inside feed, slashing call coming as Thompson got one off the melon. Rosa now stepped out. They gave him a reset on the shot clock. And so there was chaos and confusion. Well, we'll play 4-on-4. We know that much. Ben Musso makes the jog a shame.
That's a mistake by Musso, getting up a little bit too high.
Loud crack on the ear, and it'll be 4-on-4 with 2:36 to go, period number 2. They'll get 55 seconds evened up here. Marinier. You know, this plays into the Blaze's favor. Thompson. Marinier. Stumped by Cass. Got his own rebound back. Double team hauls him to the crease.
What a lift Jack Kask has given them in this second period. The defense just looks so much more confident with him behind them.
Dukeman for Phillips. Phillips spin back, defended by Jackson. Pass for Charney. Overlooks it now, and Tassick has the loose ball. Back for Connor Knock. He's had some of the toughest defensive assignments at this tournament. Him and Vredenberg seem to be on everyone's top stars. Marinier on the Minto Cup logo. Saris zips one down for McLeod. Back up to Marinier. Blaze on the power play. McLeod, quick stick. Big save by Jack Kask, sliding on his knees to his left. Marinier and Thompson up top. Thompson will steer the ship. Marinier, pass got picked off. Little flip up top here. Turpin, 2-on-1. Turpin scores! Tie ball game. Robbie Turpin has his second of the period.
Turpin had 2 choices here. Shoot the ball or pull it out. The passing lane is obstructed. Defense does a nice job getting back, and he shoots right through Thompson. Get a look from Knott's perspective over the stick at Thompson, and that's just good placement by Turpin. Beats the keeper clean. Great time to score your first 2 goals for the Minto Cup final.
Well, it's the MCLA star. 2 in the game. Power play continues. Low to low by Thompson. Won't go as he's dumped to the ground. Kask with the outlet. Fridge on a break. Fridge stumped by Nutt.
We talked at the top of the broadcast. Adnax have to play Adnac lacrosse. The last 30 seconds are exactly what we were talking about.
Coquitlam ball. There's about a 4-second differential. Shot clock, game clock. Marinier for Saris. Back for McLeod. Trying to let it go. It got blocked. Adnax are going to pick it up. Now do they want to play a 2-on-1 or do they want to use their timeout? Looks like they'll do neither, as Shinato is told, hey, run it in. Phillips, Twister, stopped by Knott. Rebound, they won't get a chance. Level ground after 40. 6-6 is the score.
What a response from Coquitlam after an uninspired first period. See the closing sequence. Fridge gets a great shot off and Knott holds that near pipe long enough to take away the angle. Fridge puts it in the perfect spot, but Knott just gives him nothing. That was labeled for the near low corner. If you are Coquitlam, you could not possibly be happier with this second period response.
Well, they allowed 5 as the Burlington Blaze jumped out to a hot start as we send it down to the floor. Alita Axenchuk is standing by.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm down here with Owen Wills. Owen, what's working well for you guys right now?
Honestly, just keeping to our game. Not getting sucked into all the extracurriculars. Just staying true to what we know and all that stuff. Just keeping our game, stuff like that. Yeah.
What needs to happen for you guys to regain this lead?
Honestly, we just need to come out flying out the third like we did in the first. That wasn't our best period, but I think if we come out flying, we'll take this game.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Well, 20 minutes to see who lifts the Minto Cup. Adnax Blaze knotted up at half a dozen apiece. Second intermission content with Ethan Forgrave. Cooper Perkins is coming up next on HNLive.
The Minto Cup on HNLive is brought to you by Volvo of Edmonton, your trusted Volvo retailer in Alberta. DLA Piper. Learn more today at dlapiper.com. Swift Oil Fuel Supply Incorporated. Canadian owned, customer focused. And by Second Slide. Find out how to get your club an online corner store today at secondslide.io.
second intermission at Bill Hunter Arena, and we are locked up at 6. Welcome you inside the broadcast booth. He is Ethan Forgrave. I'm Cooper Perkins. Thank you for joining us tonight for Game 2 of the 2023 Minto Cup. Second period, gritty. The perfect word to describe that performance.
Absolutely. I feel like we thought this game would be a battle of the wits, turned into a battle of the grits.
Yeah, and you look at the different places where Coquitlam has found their mojo, so to speak, in the second period, I should say. What stood out to you from them?
I thought they started to get inside on the defense. They started to really find their looks in the middle. You see Ducommun, I don't think he's buried one, but he's getting open on top of the crease all the time, and we weren't seeing that in the first period.
For Burlington, they took a couple of penalties there. Their penalty kill unit hasn't been quite as tight, quite as cohesive as we've seen at different points in this tournament.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can only ask so much of your penalty kill unit when you've got guys like Charney and Phillips and Malowski shooting from the outside. You know, you can only ask for so much. Against the Mounties, they might have more killing, but against a team like Coquitlam, you can only do so much.
How about the transition game of the Adnex? They've gotten out in the second, stretched the floor a bit more, and they just look so much more comfortable. They look like the team that we saw beat the Mounties 14-1. It's just a totally different look from what we saw in the first period.
Absolutely. In the first period, I thought they were being really conservative. I thought that they could be pushing the ball more, and then they come out in the second period and they do it, and they just run Burlington into the ground. They win that period, and now they're heading into the final frame even, and there's nothing more you could ask for.
You have to think now coming into the final 20 of regulation, we could get overtime. Did last night, don't forget that. The goalie battle is going to be massive.
Absolutely. These goalies are doing everything for their team. This final period is going to come down to what goalie makes more saves and what team is grittier in the corners.
How about the mental strength of both of these netminders? I mean, Deacon Knott took a shot, dealing with what looks like a little bit of an ankle. Meanwhile, Jack Kask had to shake off some early struggles in the first. The two of them just look like next-level mental goaltenders.
Absolutely. That's what it takes in the back of the net. You need to be a mental guy, sometimes a nutcase, but they're doing it.
Well, we'll have more coverage coming up here at the second intermission. You are watching the 2023 Minto Cup from Bill Hunter Arena in Edmonton, Alberta.
The Minto Cup on HNLive is brought to you by Volvo of Edmonton, your trusted Volvo retailer in Alberta. DLA Piper. Learn more today at dlapiper.com. Swift Oilfield Supply Incorporated. Canadian owned, customer focused. And by Second Slide. Find out how to get your club an online corner store today at secondslide.io.
"20 minutes to decide if we're lifting the Minto Cup tonight or if we're playing lacrosse tomorrow." It's Cody Jansen, Cooper Perkins, Alina Axenchuk with you live from Edmonton at the Minto Cup in Bill Hunter Arena. Coquitlam, Burlington knotted up at 6. Their season is on the line, and it's on the back of Jack Cask so far. And next being outshot 41-27 through 40 minutes of play.
The goaltenders have just been so fun to watch, not just in this game, but in this tournament. Jack Cask and Deacon Knott. The battle of wills, the battle of netminders, of angular play. These two guys have just been so fun. And who knows, we could get a defensive finish here the way both sides have been playing.
Alex Marinier, Robbie Turpin, the only two players with multi-goal games going on in game number 2. Again, Burlington took game 1, 10-9 double overtime. Braden Sars with the OT winner. Here's Cody Malowski. Zips one across. Phillips inside. Charbonneau denied by Knott. Ty English took a 5-minute major earlier in which the Adnacks capitalized twice on. Rawson. Rosa won't shoot. Rawson zips one back. York up high. Marinier kick saved by Cask. Rebound pops right to Saris. Rawson rolls around. Now he's got Marinier. Marinier stepped down, hit Rawson right in the stick, but he couldn't get the one-timer off. Ramos Shinato. It's Jackson Dillon. Dillon had one in game number 1. Held off the goal column here. Semple. Back for Dillon. Malowski. He'll try and pull it. It's in the pad of Deacon Knott. And hopped up to his hand. Thompson, Saris, Rosa. Adnack scored 5 in that middle frame. Hard pick set. McLeod now. Backdoor feed. Saris rips one up high.
Saris moving so well without the ball on that possession.
Adnack scored 24 seconds into period number 1 thanks to that guy, Stuart Phillips. Trying to pull it short side, won't go. They also scored 20 seconds into period number 2 thanks to Max Semple. Phillips, Charney trying to shoot around a screen. Simple on the rebound. Deacon Knott got his left arm in the way. Reset comes. Stuart Phillips, spin move. For Semple, the Drexel product. Zips one out to Phillips. Favreau back for Phillips. Outside look. Knott wasn't giving him anything to look at. Here's another one and he scores. Double it up. Stuart Phillips has a dozen at the Minto. Adnacks are up 7-6.
Big time players in big time moments. Shoots it right around Ben Trumbull, and tough sledding for Knott to find that one. Great placement in that far low corner. Just a heady play by Phillips to recognize he had a screen on the goaltender and to let it rip. We said at the top of the broadcast, if Coquitlam's going to win this game and force a game 3, Stuart Phillips is going to have a big night.
Ben Trumbull. Face-off win. He'll wait for help in the form of Marinier. Stuart Phillips, the Johns Hopkins star. has given Coquitlam a lead in a must-win game 2 here in Edmonton. McLeod got his pass right back, but he dropped it. Anton Giovanni up for Ty Banks, and the breakaway pass is over his head. Banks can't corral it, and it rolls into the corner. Rawson gets the reset. Two-man game with York right now. Mosa chases him down. Rawson for Thompson. Trying to go five-pole. Jack Kask makes the save. Thompson got the rebound back. Fresh 30 clock for the Blaze. Thompson for Rawson. Trying to get around Mosa. They will. Stick one back on it, and Kask plays it off the boards.
Really good shift by Josh Rosa for the Blaze and Robbie Turpin for the Adnex. The two of them are matched up on defense. Fascinating to watch.
Dukeman now. Waits for Semple. Molaski. Peels back. Finds Dukeman. Little inside one got blown up by Volkov. And the ball ends up at a play. Ty English for Saris. Down for Rosa. Shot got deflected by McLeod, and Kask has it. Now Kask put his defender on the train tracks, and Coghill got to move the ball. And Knack forwards now look to build on this 4-goal run. Stuart Phillips. Put him on hat-trick watch. Molaski. Phillips. Inside. Charney. Stopped by Knott.
That's what Charney does so well, setting those picks and rolling to the goal.
Favreau. Malowski. Phillips now. Little flip back for Charney. Dropped the ball. Bradenberg dumped him. Boyle goes for a jog. Cam York with it. One of 14 age-outs on this Burlington Blaze team. Playing to lift the Minto Cup tonight. Thompson. Thompson back on the roll. Marinier stopped. York on the rebound. Denied by Kask.
Just a huge save by Jack Kask.
Cat-like reflexes. Max Semple. Dillon keeps it hot. Dukeman inside. Molaski. Can't beat Knott. There's Tasic up the floor. Tries to bounce it short side. It hops all the way back to Ty English in the neutral zone. Has Rawson on the logo. We played 7 minutes into period number 3. And Nax up by 1. Ty English now. 4 on the shot clock. Stripped of the ball. It's in the corner for Rawson. There you get a look at that save on York. Left hand, it looks like he's got a hockey goalie's blocker on. Perfect positioning. Stuart Phillips now. Trying to pull it short side on Deacon Knott. I'm not sure he's been beaten stick side high more than 3 times this whole tournament. He is so good positionally at cutting off the short side. Now it's Brooks English, little backhand dish. Behind York. Coghill. Adnax have numbers. It's Ben Coghill. Bounces this one out of play.
This Adnak defense is tightening the screws, and they're doing it by fighting over picks really well.
Will McLeod, far side, scores. Paints the top corner red. Will McLeod's tied it up at 7.
Well, this time the Blaze are able to spread out the Adnak defense and buy McLeod a little bit of time and room, and he is as electric of a shooter as we've seen in the tournament. Steps in and just buries that high corner. As good as Kask has been, there's not a whole lot you can do when they're picking cherries like that. Tucks it inside the bar. That is a thing of beauty off the stick of Zach McLeod.
Well, Will McLeod had 2 of the team's 4 in the third period yesterday. Now he's got 1, and it's pretty important because we're tied up at 7 in game number 2. New commit. Acquired via New West in season. Samard runs through a triple team. Ty English inside, tries to float one through Kask. Charney. Charbonneau. Phillips, spanked for Molosky. Here's Cody Molosky through the crease, runs into Knott again, just as the shot clock was about to expire. Boyle gave him an extra whack as well. And I would assume we might see multiple penalties off this play. So Boyle's going off for sure. Two for Slash. I believe they're going to say Knock pushed him into Deacon Knott.
Yeah, take a look here. Goes airborne and Knock squares him right in the back. Deacon Knott has taken a couple of shots tonight. To consider what he's been able to do, particularly while getting battered a little bit between the pipes, is just exceptional. I mean, he's good when he's healthy, and he's been hit twice down low tonight. You have to imagine he's feeling it. I don't want to say he's injured because that's not fair to the kid. We don't speculate up here, but he certainly has been feeling it at times tonight. Yet he's been just as locked in as he's been all summer long.
Well, what do they say? The best have to battle through more, and that's been proven by Deacon Knott here, where I think any elite goaltender would tell you they take a little more abuse than the average because the opposing offense feels they have to get to you in some way, shape, or form. It's tough to get to these guys just by shooting from the outside. Sometimes you do have to get a little physical with them. It doesn't help, though, when it's your defender knocking the opponent into your own goaltender. Because then if you're the goalie, you're going, what are we doing, guys? You know, let me make the save. Don't be pushing someone in, especially if you've been run into multiple times and you're a little sore.
One more look here. Malowski flying in, pushed in by Knock. And not slow to get up, but will stay in the game.
And next power play 2 for 3 in the contest. 40 shots on goal. Far side Phillips denied by Deacon Knott. Couple seconds to roll it up the floor, and that they will as Knock has his stick knocked out of his hands. Power play's got 2 in the game. Semple has 1. Ryan Favreau has the other. You can see Favreau on the back door. Always a quick stick threat if you can see him pass to him. Malowski. Semple. Malowski's up top. Little step down, rings it off the iron. Back the other way. Ty English. One-on-one with Malowski. English stopped by Kask. Biggest save of the game right there for Jack Kask in this contest as Ty English can rip the pelt, was denied. Cody Malowski quarterbacks the power play. Inside, Phillips denied. Malowski on a little bit of a wheel is Phillips. Down for Charney. Phillips again. Malowski, middle low to high, goes wide. Semple on the rebound. Save is made by Knott. Favreau's got the loose ball. Charney won't shoot it. Phillips, little pump fake. Power play still got 5 seconds left on it. Malowski's just gonna hold on. And they'll let Boyle get out of the sin bin. Favreau, bounce for Charney. Phillips, fade away, misses. Malowski for Semple, 2 to shoot. Ends up in the corner.
What a penalty kill by the Blaze and great 5-on-5 defense. They just took away every passing lane. There was no way to skip the ball through. Made things really tough on the Adnex to create anything of substance.
Thompson zips one over. Saris back for Rawson. Rawson's gonna go airborne and score. Blaze back on top. It's Chuck Rawson who finds the back of the net.
Rawson has this deceptive quickness in his game. See, they get the ball over to him here, and he kind of hesitates and then turns it on, gets that low leverage and comes back near side. Might be fortunate that there's not video review here in junior lacrosse as those feet drag it into the crease, but it is a good goal for Chuck Rawson coming back to the short side. Change of pace, so huge. Trying to get that underneath leverage.
Well, isn't that just how it works? A big penalty kill and the offense rewards their defenders. Ty English now, little flip across. Brooks stopped by Kask. Rebound, Pregame, he scores! BTB and the Blaze are up by 2.
Garbage man out front. Brooks English, Johnny on the spot, and uses that behind the back to increase his surface area of the net. That is not just a pretty shot, that is the correct right lacrosse shot in that situation. And now 2 huge goals for the Blaze. It's a game of runs, we say it constantly. They're going to get theirs. The Adnex are still going to have an opportunity. It'll be interesting to see how this one shakes out in the last 8 minutes.
Turpin gets blown up. Samard throwing his weight around. Fridge for Shinato. Now the pressure builds for the Adnex. They were up by 1 at one point in this fight. Inside. Deacon Knott holds his ground.
Just battling through between the pipes.
Favreau and Knock in a war. Dukeman, room to drive. Dukeman to the net, stopped by Knott.
Dukeman's been pushing to the middle of the floor, trying to go over top most of the night. That time going underneath, gets the leverage, but just couldn't finish.
Well, it's the right decision. Now they're going to try and force an 8 count. Wise play by Malowski not to pick it up. And now the Adnex get a fresh 30. And he gets a little separation from his defender. Stuart Phillips. Dukeman. Zips this one across. Phillips. Helmet got knocked off in a high sticking call. Semple knows exactly where he's going.
We talked about discipline at the top of the broadcast and how it was lacking in the closing moments for Coquitlam last night. Late in this one, this is a penalty that you can't take. Max Semple just poking around up high on Tassi. It's just an unnecessary play in the wrong moment.
Well, if you're Tassi, though, you got to give him credit as well. You can't respond. You can't retaliate. You got to take that one off the chin. And now Burlington up by 2. A chance to extend it here as they hunt for their first ever Minto Cup. Thompson. Shot got blocked by Banks. Saris for Marinier. Rosa. Saris. McLeod scores!
Double it up! Will McLeod gives the Blaze 10.
Good teams will punish you for taking bad penalties. Good ball movement on the righty side. McLeod creeps his way in behind the defense. Caught the high defender's ball watching. Sneaks in right behind Luca Anton Giovanni and buries the shot from Shooter's Island. You know, sometimes when fatigue starts to become a factor, the ball watching gets worse. And on that penalty kill, Coquitlam guilty of such.
Well, the Blaze can smell it now, up by 3 with 6 to go. Inside, Ty English denied by Kask. Fridge up the floor. York was dumped in front of the Burlington bench. Ball got whipped wide and it ends up with some Blaze players. Rosa. He's got a goal and 3 assists in this contest. Thompson now. Rawson, inside feed. McLeod off the post. Back the other way, it's Shinato. Woloski down by 3. What can the Denver product do? Stuart Phillips now zips this one back for Dillon. Phillips wrong side of the road. Shot clock's going to expire on him. And the Adnacks won't put anything on net after the play, though. Moloski got dumped. And they'll say play on here. Less than 5 to go. Period number 3. The clock becoming an enemy of Coquitlam's. Marinier, Rosa, Rawson. York up top.
Marinier! Burlington has opened the gates. They're up by 4.
Marinier was who we said to keep an eye on at the top of the show. Gets a great screen from Rosa and pops out to make the high look. See Rosa there, clear just enough space. And Marinier buries it from distance. Burlington, a 4-0 run here with 4:24 to go. You think they can smell it?
You can see it on the bench. Grinning like butcher's dogs with 4:15 to play in regulation. The Adnacks need to come back for the Agents if they want to push this thing to 3. They're going to keep Kask in the net. They won't go 6-on-5. Phillips, the Johns Hopkins star. Got it right back for Moloski. Outside look. Not got a piece with his foot. Phillips again. Phillips will drive. Short side misses. Semple can't come down with the loose ball. Brooks English will, and how big was that behind the back goal that he scored? That flipped the momentum in this baby.
Completely took the air out of the Coquitlam bench.
Rawson. Battle of the Johns Hopkins, threes on the floor tonight here in game number 2. McLeod bouncer, easy save for Kask. 3:10 to go, and Kask throws it up for Favreau, who didn't know it was coming his way. Well, I think if you're the Adnax, that's what you have to do, is start to push the pace, but you got to be ready for it coming out the O-gate as well. Here's Rawson. Happy to eat the 30 clock. Dozen to sit on for Will McLeod. 2 in the contest. Will McLeod fires it in the corner and goes off for a change. Anton Giovanni bursts up the floor. Now they'll go 6-on-5. Semple hangs on. 2:22 to go in game 2. Charney, Molosky, down low, Favreau, Phillips, robbed by Deacon Knott. Story of the tournament. Here's Volkov in a foot race with Cassidy, scores. The Russian machine puts it away. The Blaze have a dozen.
How fitting that this game is going to be cinched up and closed out on another tremendous save by Deacon Knott. Volkov gets out in space, just gets the shot away and puts home the empty netter to finish this one up. And it all started on the other end of the floor. Deacon Knott, another huge stop, as he has been the MVP of this tournament, you have to think.
I don't think there's a question mark after that, Cooper. Phenomenal.
Well, we'll see what the folks who give the awards out think.
Which is certainly not us from the broadcast booth here, but Deacon Knott, boy, we're going to be seeing that over the next 20 years in the National Lacrosse League. He has been fantastic, and this is just the tip of the iceberg for the youngster from Curve Lake. English, Samart. He'll dump this one into the corner. Max Semple down for Molosky. Phillips, 15 on the shot clock. Out of the corner, Deacon Knott. The right arm got a piece of it. You can still see that left leg is giving him some issues.
What a fighter Deacon Knott is between the pipes.
Phillips. Minute to go here. Knock. It'll be a shot clock reset for the MX. Phillips now. Down for Molosky. Back to Dukeman. Pass up top. Cassie might have got his stick in the way. Semple just knocks this one down. Dukeman. Molosky. Thrown down to the ground by Knott. Boy, this Burlington defense has found a whole new gear in the finals here. Not that they were being questioned before, but they are defending the second best team in the country and doing a mighty fine job. Blaze are going to hold on to it here. Dozen seconds to go. Period number 3. 12-7's the final. Well, you can burn it to the ground, Burlington. The Blaze, for the first time ever, are Minto Cup champions. Deacon Knott makes 38 saves. The Blaze, a perfect 5-0 in Edmonton, sweep the 2023 Minto Cup final. Alex Marinier, 3 goals, 3 assists. Josh Rosa, a goal and 3 assists. Chuck Rawson,
4 points. Will McLeod, a pair of goals. The Blaze on top of the junior lacrosse world.
And they just simply earned it. They had to get through a historically good Orangeville team in Ontario. They come here and go perfect at the Minto Cup. 5-0, sweeping the Coquitlam Adnax in the final. And it all comes back to their goaltending. Deacon Knott gave this team the confidence to maximize their ability at every position. When you have someone that good guarding your net, it opens things up not just for the guys out the back door, but also the guys at the front door. The offense can play looser. There's no more stick gripping because they know they've got a guy between the pipes that can bail them out anytime they need it, and that's what Deacon Knott did the final month and a half of this summer. Bailed them out every time they possibly could have asked for it, and as a result, they are champions of the junior lacrosse world. Very well deserved. Congratulations to the Burlington Blaze.
And how much credit goes on that guy's shoulders. Dan McCray came up through the system, gives so much back to the Burlington lacrosse community. Now he's a champion. Let's send it down to the floor, though. I believe Alina Aksenchuk is standing by with Deacon Knott.
Deacon, how does it feel to be the 2023 Minto Cup champion?
Amazing. It's truly amazing. We worked so hard this year and overcome so many things. It's a dream come true.
You guys have had a lot of support here this week. What's that like?
It's absolutely amazing. Like, all of our families flew out here, and it's incredible to have the support out here and all the support back home as well. It's just truly amazing.
Perfect. Thank you and congratulations.
Curve Lake, you've got another champion. Deacon Knott. Has there been a more successful goaltender in the junior lacrosse scene over the last year than the man wearing 30 in black tonight? I mean, the hugs tell the whole story. You get a look at Samard, Chuck Rawson, just elevated his game even more. And down on the floor again, it's Selena Aksenchuk.
Dan, you have coached this team all the way to their first ever Minto Cup championship. How does that feel?
I can't put it into words. Think of all the people that have been around this organization before my time, during my time, and then this year. This is for everybody that's ever put a jersey on, volunteered, been a part of the Burlington organization. These guys got it done on the floor for all of you. We're extremely proud of these guys and how they performed today.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Well, Dan Lomas, you can put the Cottage Springs on ice. The Burlington Blaze are your 2023 Minto Cup champions. We'll send it down to the floor for the celebration.
Rush. Player of the game for the Coquitlam Adnax goes to number 12, Robbie Turpin.
Turpin with a 2-goal performance in this contest. 3 goals in the Minto Cup final.
Player of the game for the Burlington Blaze goes to number 13, Alex Marinier.
Big-time players make big-time plays, and that's what Alex Marinier did. 3-3 in this contest. Brought his tournament totals up to 11 goals and 7 assists. Good for 18 points, and the one that matters, it's the Minto Cup championship. Now we'll get the handshake, and again, what more can you say about head coach Peter Tellis, Darren Fridge, Ethan Ticehurst and company? You know, this Adnax organization, I know they won their first in 2010 on the backs of the likes of Robert Church as the MVP, and this program has just become incredible. Probably doesn't even begin to describe it when you think about 2016, 2018, the wins, getting here, and they've had so much success as an organization. They truly are one of the powerhouses in Canadian junior lacrosse year after year.
Absolutely, and I think what might be lost in this is just how great of a season they had. I mean, they won 20 games or 25 games before getting to the Minto Cup, added a couple more wins and a few close losses. Their performance will be overshadowed by one of the all-time great stories in junior lacrosse. That is what the Burlington Blaze are, make no mistake. Their upset win over the Orangeville Northmen in the finals in Ontario, followed by this dominant run to the Minto Cup. Don't forget about this Coquitlam team. They will be back. They are special. They have so many excellent players. You think Malowski will be back. Ty Banks should be back. There are pieces to build around for this team. You figure they'll probably be right back here next year, just like they have been 12 out of the last 13 years. But credit to Burlington. Sometimes in sports, you run into an all-time great team, and that's what this Blaze group has proven to be, led by an all-time great junior goalie in Deacon Knott.
Well, Deacon Knott's going to finish this tournament with a save percentage above .850. That's just insane to think about. And this is the biggest pressure these players have played under in their lives. So to come out here and be so successful, there's obviously so many people who make that possible. And again, he'll be the first to give his defenders credit, but he really stole the show.
National Championships for Lacrosse Canada.
Thank you. First of all, that's a hell of a couple of games that we witnessed in the last 2 nights, and I commend both clubs for outstanding lacrosse. I want to take this time also to thank the host committee who for the last 18 months have been preparing for this event and I think have done an outstanding job. Just want to mention a couple of names, Jamie Bowen and Clara Royer spent hours and hours and hours on doing this, and thank you. Great job, you guys. All right, first of all, the All-Star team for the 2023 Minto Cup. Forward, Stu Phillips. Congratulations. Okay. Great job, buddy. Forward, Braden Saris. Forward, Matthew Goche from Edmonton. I don't know if he's in the okay. Transition, Ty Banks from Coquitlam. Great job. Well done. Goaltender, Deacon Knott, Burlington. And defense, Ronan Push, Edmonton. Sorry? All right. We have a couple of special awards as well. This first one is the Jim Bishop trophy or ring. And it's exemplifies sportsmanship, leadership, and good play. The winner of that, Cody Malowski, Coquitlam. The Jim McConaughey Award is for the MVP of the tournament, Ty English. Meanwhile, the bag looks good, doesn't it? Okay, well done.
Introduce Paul, and then we can announce the teams and all that.
All right, I'd like to introduce you to Paul Magnon. He is the convener for the Minto Cup on behalf of Lacrosse Canada, and he'll be handing out the medals. Captain, what are we doing? What's it? The captain. Oh, I thought there was something. Great job, guys. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, there you go. You got to look at the Burlington Blaze getting their championship medals. Ty English, 6 goals, 3 assists, 9 points. Voted tournament MVP. And I think there's a lot of people at home. I can already see the Twitter notifications blowing up. Yes, Deacon Knott had my votes. An .860 save percentage in the tournament. Not that Ty English was bad. The kid was incredible at this event. I just, he was good. Deacon Knott was the difference maker with an .860 in my mind.
We don't get votes up here, but watching every minute of this Minto Cup, I don't think you could look at any player and say they were more important than Deacon Knott. Call them co-MVPs, and I think Ty English would be the first to acknowledge how important his goaltender was to this run. Deacon Knott had a 3-week stretch, maybe 4-week stretch of lacrosse that was as good as anyone in the world has played this year. He was exceptional. So don't let it be lost in that, as Deacon Knott will not be remembered as the MVP of the tournament, but he was perhaps the most important player.
And don't kid yourself here. Ty English is a fabulous lacrosse player. He's a star for University of North Carolina. He's going to go on to a long pro career if he keeps playing like that. I'm not sure there's a better two-way player in the junior lacrosse game than Ty English right now. The way he can come out of the O-gate. We mentioned it. He took that 5-minute major, and you could see their penalty kill, how much they struggled without number 14 on the floor. That's where you can tell his true value. And again, phenomenal player, gets rewarded. Now they wait for the big one. It's the Minto Cup trophy. And credit to Cody Malowski as well for having a great tournament. And, I know the awards are tough to accept. I know that the tiers are tough to hold back. There's 6 age outs for the Coquitlam Adanacs in this one. And that's a tough feeling. Anyone who's played junior sports knows how tough that one is. So Max Semple, Austin Dukeman, Thomas Ngaro, Carter Clark, Luca Anton Giovanni, and Stuart Phillips. For them to finish off their lacrosse career like this, it's going to sting. I don't know if bittersweet's even the right word, but I think when you look back on it, this Adanacs team was a very special group.
Absolutely, and I think we'll see NLL players for years to come off of this same Adanacs roster. We'll look back and wonder, hey, was that 2023 team even better than we thought at the time?
And now for the one we've all been waiting for. It's the Minto Cup, and it's Andrew Vredenberg with AJ Joma.
All right. For the first time in their history, I'm pleased to announce that the 2023 Minto Cup champion, Burlington Blaze, congratulations.
The Burlington Blaze are your 2023 Minto Cup champions. He'll take the lid off for fear of a worse outcome. as you can see it already, is getting the treatment. What a tournament right there by Braden Saris. You just think about clutch goals. If he doesn't score that Game 1 OT winner, is there a whole different conversation we are having tonight? This Burlington Blaze team, so impressive through and through. All game long, all tournament long, to go a perfect 5-0 when you're facing the likes of the Edmonton Miners on the host night in front of 1,000 people crammed inside Bill Hunter Arena. They pull out an 11-7 win. Second night, they're able to beat the Calgary Mounties 8-6 in a come-from-behind effort. Then you get the Coquitlam Atanaks on a Tuesday night, and they pull through with a 10-8 win. Game number 1, 10-9 in overtime. Then you put up a dozen in game number 2. Deacon Knott seals the deal. 12-7 was the final score. We'll let the celebration continue as well as Peter Labardius and Cooper Perkins getting ready for the post-game show. Well, photos that'll live a lifetime. Andrew Vredenberg has lifted the Minto Cup. The Burlington Blaze 12-7 winners over the Coquitlam Atanaks. They sweep the 2023 finals 2-0. We'll get to a few more floor interviews. Also, Peter Labardius and Cooper Perkins will have the official post-game show on HNLive as well, as you see the celebration continue. Well, the celebration.
Highlights of the 2023 Minto Cup are brought to you by Pete the Plumber in Calgary. Call 403-257-1766 or visit their website at PeteThePlumber.com.
For the first time ever, the boys from Burlington host the Minto Cup. What a run it has been for Dan McRae's men. Thank you for staying with us. This is the Pete the Plumber post-game show here on HNLive. My name is Peter Lubardius, brought to you by Pete the Plumber, where nobody, and I mean nobody, does it better. And in this tournament, nobody did it better than Burlington. They went a perfect 3-0 in the round robin and then swept a terrific Coquitlam team, the BC champions, in 2 straight, 10-9 last night in double overtime, and a great first period and a marvelous third has them number 1 as far as Junior A lacrosse is concerned in the country, and I'm sure there'll be a party at West Central Arena and all the different establishments back home into the wee hours. Let's take a quick look before we welcome our terrific color analyst, Cooper Perkins, in on the post-game show. It started really well early for Coquitlam as Stuart Phillips, one of the tournament all-stars, gave them an early 1-0 lead, but Boyle and the Blaze came right back a minute later, and the game was tied at 1 apiece. Is another look at the Phillips entering the crease area. That did not count as he ran into Deacon Knott, and he was great, but had to deal with a lot. Jack Thompson, one of the stars of this series, as Burlington almost played a perfect first to build a 4-1 advantage. But late in the period, Ty English, who ended up being named the tournament MVP, took a 5-minute major. And Coquitlam, first it was Max Semple on the power play, Miloski the shot, the rebound to Ryan Favaro, and my goodness, it was 4-3. This a big goal by Alex Marinier, short side past Jack Kask, 5-3. They built a 6-3 second period advantage. The Adanacs wouldn't go away. Miloski, you let him get to the net on his own, it's going to go in. But the man of the eve and the man of the series was Deacon Knott. However, Robert Turpin, shorthanded, said, down 4-1, down 6-3, we're even. And Phillips looked like he might put his team over in the third. But at 7-6, it was all Burlington after that. And here's a huge collision. I wasn't sure if Knott was going to be able to continue. At 7-7, Chuck Rawson, the diving goal, 8-7. And this is the backbreaker. Brooks English, behind his back, his first of the event. And I think that was the knockout punch in the Minto Cup. And you see the celebration. I think it was arguably the goal of the tournament, and they just kept pouring it on. More Marinier. Big-time players score big-time goals. And the Burlington Blaze are the champions of Junior A Canadian lacrosse. They had never been on this stage before. And tonight, they finish as the champs. This guy's a champ. He's been all over the place. He's in LA for a couple of days calling soccer and a high school football game. Flew back today. Great job, young man. Cooper Perkins joins us on the post-game show to cap it off. When I ask you about your thoughts on this game in particular, what impressed you the most about what Burlington was able to do in this game?
I think it all actually circles back to what we heard from Owen Wills at the second intermission. He was interviewed by Alina Aksenchuk, and he exuded this confidence about their play and where they were headed in this game. He basically said, hey, I don't think we really need to do anything different. If we play our lacrosse and we calm down a little bit, I think we're going to be good to win this game. And that's exactly what the third period looked like from a Burlington standpoint. Whatever Dan McRae said to his team at the second intermission clearly worked to perfection, because they came out, they were composed, they were calm, and they did all of the little things well. Once they were able to get a couple in the net, it snowballed, they made their run, and then they didn't allow Coquitlam to have an answer. You know, usually across this game of runs back and forth, and the Adanacs held scoreless for the better part of the last 15 minutes of this game. I just thought it was such an impressive performance of discipline and wits on the part of Burlington, the way they were able to maintain their composure and dominate the mental aspect of the game.
Well, lacrosse has a lot of basketball attributes, and right now on the floor, the celebration has some basketball attributes. They have cut the net, maybe both of them, and if we get a shot of it, I'm told that maybe they're wearing it as well. And they all, you can tell in their hands, they have a little piece. Take a look right there, and a nice keepsake here in Edmonton at the Bill Hunter Arena. Now, Ty English was named the most valuable player, and I think he's the best athlete that I watched all week in this tournament. You can understand why he's a field lacrosse star at the University of North Carolina, going back there for a third year, and he'll probably do in this game whatever he wants, box or field would be my guess from what I've seen. I don't think they win this event without Deacon Knott, and he was arguably at his absolute best tonight.
If you ask any high-level lacrosse person what the most important piece of lacrosse team is, they will all consensusly tell you it is goaltending. A mediocre team can win a championship with a superstar goalie that gets hot at the right time. Not to say that's what this Burlington team is, because they were loaded up and down. 14 players aging out this year. I mean, their experience level, they were prepared for this moment, and they went through a gauntlet through Ontario to get here. But Deacon Knott was not just the difference maker. He was the heartbeat and pulse of this team. And I said it at the tail end of our play-by-play call with Cody Jansen. I think that what he brought to the table, in addition to the big saves, in addition to those big moments, was the confidence that he instilled, not just in his defense, but in his offense. Every player on the Burlington roster knew that if they made a mistake, there was a strong chance Deacon Knott was going to bail him out. And when you have that kind of leeway to work with, it allows a team to play so freely, which is exactly what we saw Burlington do. And they won 5 straight games in this tournament, dating back to their Ontario run. They won their last 8 games of the season. I think it all comes back to the confidence that he instilled in everyone else around him on that team.
We've talked about English, talk now about Knott, there's no question. And I think you have to give, and I heard you guys talk about it at the end of the show, Dan McRae saw what it meant to him in his even one answer post-game interview. Been a part of the program in every single way. They'd never been here before. And it is not easy to do what they've done. Not sure anybody that came to this event thought that they'd win 5 straight games. I know I didn't.
Surely not that they would win with such ease, so to speak. I mean, obviously they were tested a few times, but a clean sweep through the tournament is the most impressive feat that they could have accomplished. And it's not just Dan McRae. You have to look at the whole Burlington lacrosse infrastructure. People like Billy Greer, who is such a huge part of the organization at the top. They're just so well run, and they're consistent in their beliefs, what they want to accomplish. And that's why Dan is the perfect man to lead from the bench here. You know, he gets it. He's a winner. He's been at the highest level for a long time. It's just this total confluence of excellent pieces from a leadership standpoint. And Dan deserves every bit of credit that he'll get. But don't forget about the people back in Burlington watching at the watch party, the folks at the top of Burlington lacrosse, because they helped put this team together, made the big moves to go get Deacon Knott, go get Ben Trumbull. You know, it's such a team effort, and it's cliche to say, but I think it's really true, especially with this Burlington group.
Well, there is a very happy Dan McRae, and I think anybody who was involved in this event, whether it was on the air, off the air, in the stands, I think it was a terrific showcase. Will you leave here thinking about one or two things in particular?
In addition to the goaltending of Deacon Knott and how special of a player he's going to be, I think this was such a great display of 10 or 15, maybe 20 players that I think we're going to see play in the National Lacrosse League for a long time. I mean, there were guys who played in this tournament like Ty Banks, who looks NLL ready right now. I mean, Braden Saris, Alex Marinier, Cody Malowski, these guys are all almost just ready to be professionals right now. And so I think what I'm going to take away from this is seeing these future superstars still in their development, youthful stages. And 5-10 years from now, when one of them is raising an NLL Cup, I'll remember this moment and watching them play in this tournament.
Great job this week. Pleasure meeting you, and I wish you nothing but the best moving forward. We're going to take a quick break, be back with a gentleman who found the net on a regular basis. Burlington blazes a trail to Junior A lacrosse's top prize, the Minto Cup. Pete the Plumber post-game show back right after this.
Highlights of the 2023 Minto Cup are brought to you by Pete the Plumber in Calgary. Call 403-257-6900 1766, or visit their website at PeteThePlumber.com.
Well, there's the captain, and there's the hoisting of the cup. Burlington are the champions of Junior A lacrosse in Canada. It is a cup that has been contested going all the way back, even older than me. 1937 was the first time. This guy, he's got a lot of great days ahead of him. He's Alex Marinier. Alex, congratulations. It's been a few minutes now. You've gone through some of the celebration. What was the difference for your group tonight? Because I thought you had an outstanding first, and then needless to say, you might have been at your best in the whole tournament in the third.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think it starts with Deacon Naughton Cage. You know, he's seen the ball very well this tournament. You know, even in the OJLO playoffs, he was seeing the ball well. You know, up to our defense, you know, we got it on their shooters, did a very good job of stopping that, and then just the offense. You know, our lefties really stepped it up. They did a good job of pressing out on our righties. The lefties turned it up in the last two games. So credits to all of them. Credit to all the guys on the team for sure.
How key in this event was your power play, which you and Braden Saris were a big, big part of?
Yeah, you know, I think it's always important to capitalize on those opportunities. And you know, when the other team gets a penalty, it's always important to you know, get the best look possible. And you know, credits to our coach Kevin Brownell for drawing up some awesome plays. And you know, that's all I can really say is just, you know, we're burying the ball, and what's working for us is working for us.
Only keep you for a couple more. I want you to go and enjoy it. That's why you work so hard to win a first. The trade with Peterborough. How critical, and why did those guys all fit and make such a difference? Because it wasn't just not, was it?
Nope. Yeah, you know, I think that trade was the turning point for our season. You know, we didn't start off as well as we wanted to. You know, a couple rough losses, and then obviously the two losses to Orangeville. But we got that trade with Peterborough. You know, Ben Trumbull, Zach Thompson, of course, Deacon Knott. You know, those guys have been absolutely critical. Thompson on that left side, he's a really heavy shooter, very good at setting picks. Obviously, Trumbull, transition player of the year in Ontario. And then, you know, obviously can't forget about Deacon Knott, just all-star in cage, seeing the ball well all series, and just, you know, the backbone of this team.
Well, when you raised your stick, had a pretty good feeling a lot of the time it was going to go in the back of the net. My last one is this. You're the first Burlington team to ever be here, and now you've won. What does that mean to you, your team, your coach, who you could tell very emotional tonight because he's been through so much? What does it mean to you guys and what he's meant to you?
Yeah, you know, the entire coaching staff they've sacrificed so much for this team. And, you know, 45 years, no OJL championships, no Minto Cup appearances. It's just, you know, it was a long time coming. And I've been a Burlington Chief, I guess, my whole life, Burlington Blaze now. And, you know, these coaching guys, I've been around the same guys my entire life, and they just put everything into this. You know, the amount they sacrifice, the days off work, you know, just credits to them. And then obviously this year, you know, big trades, just team kind of gelled together very well, and it was just awesome to pull it off.
Alex Marinier, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Young man, are a Canadian champion.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's been great to watch you.
Thank you.
Alex Marinier, one of the top scorers for the Burlington Blaze, and that will about wrap things up on this post-game show. Yes, Marinier, Saris, and that guy too, Jack Thompson. Terrific. Coquitlam loaded with good players like Cody Milosky and others. Stuart Phillips. There's Mr. Marinier again, and in many ways, that 5-3 goal was a big one. But Milosky and company wouldn't go away tonight. In fact, they tied it shorthanded at 6 on Robert Turpin's second of the game. Will McLeod had huge goals in this championship affair. And yes, there's a reason to strut when you find the back of the net at the most important times, as Mr. Marinier did in that one. Brooks English doesn't score a lot, They'll be watching that for a long time. The Burlington Blaze are the champions of Junior A lacrosse in Canada. For Pete the Plumber, nobody does it better. Adrenaline source for sports. To the entire community here, the organizing committee, I'll leave you with this. Burlington, the champs, they would not be denied.